Hey, Slater Crusaders, what an honor to talk to our next guest. Of course, former Navy SEAL, current Congressman Dan Crenshaw. Congressman, how are you, sir?
Hey, doing well. Thanks for having me.
Good. Good to talk to you. Got a new book, Fortitude, American Resilience in the Era of Outrage. All right, I got a ton of questions. First of all, I loved your interview with Bill Maher the other day when you were promoting this book. There was one moment in particular when he said something about President Trump and how President Trump's lying or something. And it wasn't just what you said, I forget exactly what you said, but it's how you said it. And I can't simulate it here, but it was something like, why do you think he was lying? Or what was he lying? It was so calm, where everyone else would have come back harder. You stayed calm. Can you speak to that for a minute?
Well, I actually talk a little bit about combative interviews in the book. There's a chapter called Be Still, and I mean that quite literally in the book. It's just be still. Just be a good test taker. You know, don't let your emotions get the best of you. And so there's some methods to be good at that. One of them is wargaming. So you have to wargame everything you do. You should always be debating somebody, if that's your job, right? Like, I mean, if it's not your job, I don't know why you would always be debating somebody in your head, but it is my job, as it turns out, just like it's Bill Maher's job. And in this particular case, there's a way to win an argument and there's a way not to. And you also have to define winning. Winning should mean persuading somebody. That should be the definition of winning. The problem, and I write about this in my book too, the problem is that we've started to redefine what is good and what is heroic and what is winning in our culture. And that usually these days it means somebody who's the angriest, the loudest, the most passionate, the one who owns the other guy. But that's not really winning. I mean, a winning argument would be sophisticated and nuanced and actually persuasive. And the problem is, one, too many leaders, too many public officials do the former thing, the passionate fist shaking, and too many people pay attention to it. So there's an incentive to do it.
I'm so over that. Do you think people are getting over the whole outrage thing, or is that just with us forever?
It's up to all of us to get over it. That's the problem. So no, I don't. I don't think we're getting over it because I say that because the media keeps doing it, and politicians keep doing it, public figures keep doing it. So the fact that they keep doing it means there's some kind of incentive to keep doing it. And that incentive is in number of likes and clicks and all that. And as long as Americans keep falling for it, they'll keep doing it.
I just hope people saw that interview and everything you do with that regard, and people are like, oh, there's another way. Like, oh, that's an option. Because I like how that felt way more than I feel living in outrage mode all the time.
Yeah.
Can you talk on this point? Can you speak about drown proofing? I think this fits perfectly in the be stillness.
Yeah, absolutely. So I talk about drown proofing as the SEAL way of teaching stillness. And we teach it in the most barbaric way possible, which is we put you in the water and we see if you don't panic, even when your hands are tied behind your back and your feet are tied together. And as it turns out, you can actually swim that way and keep breathing and surviving. But if you panic even just a little bit, if you lose your cool even just a little bit, you will sink. And so drown proofing is again, it's a literal term. It means proofing yourself from drowning in the unlikely scenario that you happen to be thrown into the water with your hands tied behind your back and your feet tied together.
Slater Crusaders, thanks for watching the first on YouTube. If you want more, like, subscribe. We got plenty.